It opens with us in prayer.
All right, yeah.
Shh, we're praying. Bow your head, close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this amazing podcast that we've had today, and this amazing intro that is going to just blow many men away with our positivity and our fellowship,
power
of the people that we are. And I just opened my eyes on camera, and now everyone's going to know I'm a liar. Lies.
You're forgiven.
Now I'm looking at you right in your eyes, holding your hand. This is crazy. What are we doing?
Dude, I meant it for $1. I meant it for £1.
I appreciate your dedication to the bit.
Oh, dude, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I just, it was weird. I was afraid something was going to switch places with your hand in my hand.
Well, it's hard for me to talk because I was trying to
starting to feel hard.
Well, I was trying to figure out how I could climb up on the table and put my wang in your mouth, or just on your nose just a little bit.
That's why it's nice to have a 6-foot wiener. Because you don't have to worry. You just pull it out, just put it wherever you want.
Yeah, just run it down the hallway. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Bionic wieners, they're back.
They are.
They're back.
They were out of fashion in the 80s and 90s.
Bionic wieners are back.
They're back,
better than ever.
Well, call 1-900-Wieners.
Dude, if they could somehow use Bluetooth to simulate the nerve ending stimulation, you could put your wiener across the room.
You mean you cut it off?
Yeah, but you could feel the sensation.
You could leave it at home, feel it in your brain.
Exactly.
Yep. This is what the next hour and 45 minutes of your life is going to look like.
Put your dick in a blender and feel it from across the room.
Dick smoothies for the Lord.
Have you ever wanted to feel what it feels like to have your dick in a blender? But it's too short to get down to the blades. Well, now we can help you.
We'll cut it right off at the base.
Cut off the dung. We're the overly aggressive moils. All right, sorry. You're doing the intro.
I was.
All right.
I'm going to cut from that praying part to, oh, hey, Kevin, how's it going, man?
Hey, how do you do?
Yeah, I do well.
You do.
How do you do?
Oh, I do pretty good.
You are doing well.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yep. What if we did that for 45 minutes?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
Feeling good, feeling fine.
Looking good.
Star Trek 69.
Wow.
It rhymes.
It does. Can't figure out how the Star Trek goes in there, but I do like it.
I have no idea. I just threw it. It came into my brain. I threw it out.
I love your freedom.
I cry to keep. I cry. I cry.
I cry.
I cry to keep it free. If I don't cry, it won't be free. It gets expensive emotionally.
That is a masterclass in embracing what just fell out of your mouth.
I cry.
I cry to keep it free is the name of this episode.
I cry to keep it free.
Look out next week for the follow-up country mega hit. I cry to keep it free.
And
I'm free to keep crying.
B-side, Tears on a Flag.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. That is not bad. If you like what just happened and you want an hour and 45 more minutes of it, stay tuned. Here comes the theme music.
We're vaping, we're caffeinated, we're ripping, we're
ready
flipping,
to go.
flipping.
We're doing it.
Dude, we're high octane right now.
We're so high. What's the highest octane you've ever been?
Oh, dude, 69, bro.
Dude.
You stop there.
Yeah.
It's, you know what, the hard thing about octane when you get into it is you can work your way up to 69. And that's a lot of work.
Is that a fact?
Oh, yeah. And you're at the highest version of octane at 69.
Yeah.
Except for one.
72.
420.
420 octane.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a long journey to make your way. You have to leave the comfort of 69. You got to go through 70, 71, 72.
89, 90, and 91.
Yes.
Stop and fill your tank up.
You know, it's a lot like stand-up comedy when you really think about it.
Okay, here we go.
Because, like stand-up comedy. Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, let's get comfortable.
Let me do that here. That's a great idea.
This is going to be great for the clip.
You know, the Chinese consider
I do know the
insult, if you show the bottom of your soles to them.
This one's for you, China.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't share anything emotionally with the Chinese, because I don't want to offend them by showing my soul to them.
Well, you know what my grandfather always used to say about the Chinese.
I actually, I do, and I don't know if you want to say it.
I don't want to say it, but he had it tattooed like right on his chest.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That was nuts.
That is nuts. On his nuts as well?
And his nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. Because every time he showed it to me, I'd be like, Grandpa, that looks good.
Dude. But it's a great way to get to know your grandpa. Though, I go, Grandpa, let me see your tattoos. Are you sure you want me to show you?
Stretches out the bat wing.
Oh yeah, that's what it's like. I mean, that's like a map, like the map they have
of the world.
Yeah. It's got it's an emotional map
And topographical.
it's topographical and emotional, and it measures the relationships that he's had with his various family members for his entire life.
Both of his families.
Yes,
Us and the one we didn't know about.
Yeah, he goes, you can see right here, I'm quick to anger. That's thanks to old grandpappy right here. You can see he was a mad guy. And then my mom comes in. She's like, why are you looking at Grandpa's nuts? It's no good.
Yeah. I miss his backhand. It was he should have been a tennis player.
I miss his backhand.
Oh, what a country song.
Like a warm, warm hug. When Grandpa warmed it up, it was going to be a loving slug.
Come back home and backslap me, pappy.
You'll never be able to hit me no more. Call my mother a whore, but God damn it, I do miss my fucking dad.
I wish you'd hit me like he used to. You ever had moonshine?
No. I mean, I've had things called moonshine, but they were marketed. It wasn't legitimately moonshine.
Do you drink?
I do. I'm not supposed to because I get the gout. By the way.
Yeah. Are we gouting?
I get gouted out.
Yeah.
And I have to have this pose particularly to get the uric acid out of my joints. If I have foods that are too high in purine, where my gout boys out.
Whoop, whoop, gout boys for life.
But it psychologically having my feet up like that, I'm like, I started thinking, am I gouted out right now?
Well, how do you tell? How can you tell?
Oh, it's the most painful thing in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you fix it?
Well, there's some things that kind of guarantee you don't get gout attacks, and that will be eliminating foods that are high in purine, and then
I hear urine every time.
Oh, dude, it's right there. It's all related. Urine, purine, and uric acid. They're all related to gout. So when I get a gout attack, the uric acid goes to my joints. It's heavy, so it goes to the bottom joints, and then it inflames. So if you don't have foods high in uric acid, or like alcohol is real bad, or high in purines, and you don't want to have any sugar, because sugar is an inflammation catalyst.
It's an inflammation destination.
Yeah. Which brings me back to my grandfather's balls.
Right.
Those things, buddy. That was a real travesty of
tastes great, less filling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the tastes great. They could use some work.
Yeah. So is Kiss your favorite band, or are you like gout it? Gout it.
No, dude. It's a serious thing that shouldn't be sung about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's those fuckers.
Yeah.
No, dude. It's brutal because it's very painful. But I'll be walking around. I even have a cane sometimes. I'll be limping, because of the gout.
Oh yeah, pimping. Yeah.
Oh yeah, pimping and gimping and limping and
shrimping
and simping for my wife.
Oh, okay.
God bless.
I don't know what simping means, but I call people simps all the time.
Oh, I guess it means you're kind of like
a big Simpsons fan.
You could be simping for the Simpsons.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know exactly. Shoot, I feel like I almost had a grasp on what the full name of simp is, but I don't. But
simpleton.
It might. I don't think it is. It has more to do with insulting somebody for really liking a girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but they kind of worship that lady. They send them money.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. I found documents that explain some of the phrases that exist in the world.
Like a pamphlet, perhaps.
Yeah, and I got a 16-year-old, and I got
for free.
For free, yeah, and a 14-year-old.
No way.
Yeah.
So was that 14-year-old a bonus kid?
No. No, she was planned out. She was planned out.
So it wasn't a buy one get one free situation.
We were delusional. We were like, I wanted to have 5 kids originally.
As the Lord commands.
The more to praise the Lord, the more to add to the family band. We needed somebody on a tambourine.
You really got that voice down.
I love it. It's one of my favorite voices ever.
The preacher's voice.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you. Can I pray for you?
I wish you would.
Oh man, Lord, we come before you here with eyes like Abrams. And I pray to God that you would come into his life and just satiate all these lustful desires that I know.
So much lust.
They're in his way, Lord. You know it. You know it. The barrier between his own personal satisfaction and his life in general. Just stop touching this ding dong. Just tell him.
There's a specific televangelist I'm thinking of. That sounds exactly like that.
Well, I keep wanting to say Jimmy Stewart, but that's not it.
No.
Hey, your money's not here. It's in Bill's house, and Jerry's house.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy Stewart.
Swagger.
Jimmy Swaggart. Yeah.
Who was the 700 Club guy?
Fuck, I don't know what his name is, but we used to do a sketch on the old podcast called the 800 Club.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
We'll beat you to it by 100.
Yeah. And it was just like the same stuff. But I had iPad with this app on there that I could make it sound like a pipe organ, like
Pornhub,
old church organ. Yeah. Oh, it did. Yeah, hot blonde makes it sound like a church organ.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, she tugging on it like she's an old trucker.
Yeah.
You're going down the highway, going, "Hey, come on now."
Your wife walks in the bathroom and you're doing this.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing?" Like,
"Not again."
Are you making that lady do that horn sound again?
Baby, I swear to God, this is not what it looks like. It's not.
We're just tugging.
Yeah, no, it's but so I would go on there and I'd play the organ, and then I'd go, brothers and sisters, so glad you're here. I want to give it up to Gladys on the organ there, give it up. I'm like, I love you so much with my whole heart. And then
doing both voices.
Yeah, and just having fun or whatever. Yeah. And then I'd be like, hey, we're here with Isaac. Isaac is brand new to the church, and we're so excited to have him here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
And and just like, all right, Isaac, come before the cathedral here, before the congregation. We're going to dunk you in full water.
Oh, fully? Yeah. Submerge me in the Lord's water.
Here you go. Boom, boom, pow. Here you go. Now, hey, how do you feel?
I feel great. I feel like I'm washed in the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Soaking wet with the Lord Jesus Christ.
God, that is the authoritative voice of my youth right there.
Yeah, dude. I like doing it. It's fun. I like doing that one. I do a lot of voices, but I do some specifics, but now being 43, all my specific voices are kind of out of, popularity. So, like I can do the Mad Hatter. Just mustard. Oh, don't be silly. This crazy right now. And, but nobody remembers when I say Mad Hatter. They're like, "This guy do Johnny Depp?"
Yeah.
No.
Do you do voiceovers?
I do some voiceovers. Yeah, actually, I did. Sorry, we just touched knees there.
Nope, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you? Oh, man.
There's a bar between us, just like the Lord intended.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got to leave room for the Holy Spirit.
And it's my dick.
Yeah. Dude, did you ever go to a church sanctioned dance?
No. Wait, we weren't allowed to dance.
Okay.
We had mixers.
Yeah.
We also had lock-ins. Did you get locked in?
Oh, yeah. We had a couple of lock-ins.
That's the most sexually explicit orgy I've ever been to,
buddy. I was at a lock-in one time, and at like 3 a.m, I'm in the women's bathroom with like 4 girls, and they're putting makeup on me and fully fucking drag me out.
You're hard as a rock.
Dude. I mean, that feeling of like, I'm the only boy and all these girls are like touching my face, and that's a relatively new experience of something that's always on your mind.
Just being in the women's bathroom. If I was 13, I'd be like, yeah, let's go.
Smells different in here. Like it just like all these new experiences. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, wow,
I'm hot.
It frightened me a little bit, because I was like, oh, wow, this actually, I'm attracted to myself. Right. You know what I mean? And
what's the clinical word for being attracted to yourself?
I don't know. Like something probably with Narcissus, or
it's got to have mono in it, right?
Yeah, and Narcissus was the Greek Narcissus. He was a shock comic from New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
No, but
I remember that guy.
He would stare at his face in a pool, and he falls in love with himself, essentially.
Oh, mono narcissism.
Yeah. So I mean, there's got to be something with that. Something.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people know me for my knowledge on Greek mythology. I have a weekly podcast I put out every week.
It's called Greek of the Week.
It is called Greek of the Week. Yeah. Please tune in. We have a new Greek every week that we bring up and we highlight. We got Caesar. He's coming up. I'm pretty sure he's pretty good. And a returning guest this next week for his 35th time, Kopi Soteropoulos, the local newscaster from Fresno, California, is going to be joining us.
Wow.
Yeah.
He could be a co-host at this point.
He could.
Yeah.
He really could.
Yeah.
No, dude, there's this guy, this newscaster in Fresno. Sorry, I'm jabbing.
Do it.
All right. His name's Kopi Soteropoulos.
That's a real person.
Yes, and he is incredibly Greek, and he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. But his whole shtick was that he was the goofy weather guy,
Yeah.
So he was always just like, like, always
making the weather jokes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Weather puns.
just in general. And he did a lot of like remotes. So it'd be like, hey, it's me here, Kopi, at the remote zoo. We're here at the Chaffee Zoological Garden. Hey, pal, what you got there? And it's
Right.
like, oh, it's a churro. I got a little churro here. And he'll be like, wow, that's great. Fantastic. Okay, we got some goofy old giraffes here. What do we got? Some silly monkeys across the way there. Like that kind of general
right.
forever.
And everybody's at home eating their dinner going like, just tell me the news.
A lot of times this would be at like 6 a.m. or whatever.
It's in the morning.
Well, he was on a morning show.
Yeah.
So he would do all kinds of weird shit. But yeah.
And this is in California where the weather's the same every day.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. But no, I mean, dude, I actually shouldn't agree with you at all, because Fresno in particular, it gets cold enough to freeze the grass, and it gets up
Just
to
the grass.
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Grass only
Grass,
freezes.
well, like there's a level of freezing, and I don't want to say it freezes the ground, because the ground, I mean, it will freeze the ground.
Well, there's a word for that.
Is it?
Frost.
Oh,
Yeah, you just get a little frost. That's on the grass.
Wow.
Dew, frozen dew.
not just frost.
It would be mountain dew, but
Yeah.
it's in the valley. So
No, it would freeze. I've seen it cold enough to freeze the grass to where when you step on it, it would break.
yeah.
Yeah. And then it gets up to like 112 sometimes. It's like wild
In the same day.
in the same exact day.
Yeah.
No. Across the years, of course.
Oh,
across the years.
yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was. That's why living in Fresno is wild.
Yeah. Our weather guy's remotes growing up would be that he would just go out by the fountain, because if it was cold, the fountain would start to have ice on it.
Yeah.
And if it was hot, it would be steaming.
Yeah.
So he got away with all kinds of stuff. His name was Greg Fischel,
Dude, I love
and
it.
it sounded so official.
It is. If it's coming from Fischel, it's official.
Yeah. And if you ever saw one of our local news people in the mall, dude,
Get out your
pen and
list
paper, because you have to draw a picture.
signatures, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude, did you get autographs when you were a
I
kid?
got some autographs.
Did you ever go to the airport and wait at the what is the little bridge? Jet bridge?
No.
So I grew up in North Carolina, Duke,
Yeah.
NC State, Carolina.
Ooh.
If they won the Final Four, my parents would take me to the airport.
Yeah.
No security. And we would go right to where they came off the plane and get basketballs signed.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. Yeah, I never did any of that kind of stuff. No, that would be awesome. I did. The only time I went to get a signature from somebody was from Jack DeJeanette when I was a little kid. He's a drummer. And,
I had the wrong Jack DeJeanette.
I'm saying it right. And I would go, because I went to a lot of drum clinics. So I would see like these obscure clinician drummers that were like octopuses, just like crazy,
Octopus drummers.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a musician, like there's guys like Victor Wooten out there.
I know who he is. Yeah.
The savants, the phenoms.
Right.
So I'd go to that and be like, oh my God.
Like too good to be in a band. They're just
Absolutely.
a drummer on their own.
Yeah, like Terry Bozzio, who was Frank Zappa's drummer.
Yeah.
Like I saw him with this insane drum set, dude.
Yeah.
All black cymbals, they were tonal cymbals, all the way down, tone, from the small to the big right up here, and then this huge drum set, and he's doing like with his left hand, then he's going boom boom chat, boom boom chat, and then his feet are doing weird, dude. It was like, and then he starts doing a solo. It's like, it was unreal. So I got his signature. I'd go back. I'd be like, dude, can't believe it's Terry Bozzio. I got Terry Bozzio's signature. I can't believe I got Terry Bozzio. And people are just like, who's that? I'm like, dude.
Come on, dude.
He's like the best drummer in the whole wide world. You don't even know who he is? And
Yeah. He just signed it with 2 lines.
they're like, is he better than Travis Barker? And I'd be like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm going to kill you right now.
Do you remember when Dave Matthews came out with Under the Table and drumming?
Yes.
Bro,
Carter Beauford
blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't play any of the rest of these instruments or the drums.
Yeah. Dude, he is definitely my biggest inspiration. I bought a double bass because he was doing double bass tastefully, which is what I was always. Everything he does is amazing, but his tasteful double bass. Oof. Where my
tasty bass?
Where my TDBs out there? You know what I mean? My tasty double bass boys.
I'm a former TDB.
Yeah.
But now I'm a BWRC. I made up the acronym before I filled the words in.
Dad, I like it. I usually catch. I'll fill it in, but there's too many letters.
I caved on that one.
Yeah,
I should have just done 3.
Dude, you blew it.
I did. I broke character real hard.
Dude, I can't believe it.
BWRC, bass with righteous Christianity. Yeah, dude.
I've been in a couple of those bands.
Yeah,
truthfully.
Dude. I made a mistake. So I have a bunch of drummer buddies, and they take any gig they can. And I had a buddy that was doing a church gig, and he was like, "Hey, we need a bass player this Sunday." I was like, "I know all those songs. I'll do it." So without rehearsing, in front of hundreds of people, I'm standing there with my bass, like trying to follow the guitar player, which I can do pretty well.
Yep.
Not well enough for a song you've never heard. They got all new songs now.
He's playing. He's got tools tuning.
Yeah.
For some reason. So you're trying to follow him. It's like, wait,
he's in 7th diminished.
He has no E string
and a capo.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude. I used to play in worship bands. I loved it. It was a huge part of my life for forever, from the time I was in junior high till I was in my 30s, And so I'd see Carter Beauford be able to do some tasty shit with a double bass, and I'd be like, "Ooh, I think I can get some tasty shit on these worship songs," And
so,
sometimes
they ever tell you to tone it down? It's a little too much.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We don't have no double bass in this church.
Let's make sure we're here for the Lord and not for our own personal game.
Now, listen, Kevin, I just wanted to talk to you about the way you've been sinning on the drums.
Dude, nobody ever said it directly, but obviously, nobody outside of we were in a band together. So we'd be very honest, it's the people would communicate. Hey, dude, stop, maybe not so busy.
Right.
Keep it back and stuff. And I'm a kid most of it, and even when I was in college, I started getting better, and I was just like, oh, I kind of want to show them. I want to bring the best that I can. I want my offering to the Lord to be the best of what I can bring,
Yeah, triple bass metal.
Yeah, dude. Just blast beating,
For Jesus.
In your marvelous light, I'm running out of darkness, out of shame. Yeah, dude.
Just doing a constant build up for the whole song with no release.
Yeah, dude.
Which is kind of like growing up Christian.
Yeah, dude. That's not bad.
Absolutely no release.
Pretty good. Yeah. Dude, we actually did have a song that was a constant build up for almost the whole thing.
And then the song ends.
Yeah, eventually.
Or there's a breakdown where it's just like the backup singers. It just falls out, and then everybody just has to have their hands up.
Absolutely.
Now, did you guys ever fall down? Did you ever have your hand on the fall down stuff?
No.
You seen it?
No. I've seen it. I'm aware of it, but I never saw it in person.
Yeah.
I've seen, and I've told this story on many podcasts before, but
tell it again.
I've seen demon possession.
Same.
Demon possession.
Why the quotes?
Because you can't verify it or whatever. And I was at a traditional Christian church that was technically Baptist, but it was not what you would typically think of when you think of a Baptist church. We had black people there, but it wasn't mostly black people. It was mostly white people. But
it should be.
Yeah, but we would keep it funky, and we would. Years later, they would go to have a guy literally rap for the Lord.
DC Talk.
And honestly, I remember one of these guys, he's talented. It wasn't cheesy. I was like, oof.
That's tough to not be cheesy in rap and then also not be cheesy in Christian rap.
Yeah. biggest complaint of Christian music, if you had to complain about it, aside of like everything, it's the lyrics were always so on the nose, and like I'm attracted to you, girl, but I can't let it go because my eyes are on the Lord. You know that one? That's that old hit.
No, I don't.
1976.
Right. When the lady showed her ankles from 1931.
She wants to get a lashing.
That's right.
She wants to get a lashing.
Yeah. I beat her with my belt.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
Dude, we turn up the AC so the women would cover up. I mean, we had some tactics.
Yeah.
There were ways. There were ways to make it less about dating.
When you saw your demon, was it because an exorcist came to town?
No, I was at a church camp at Redwood Christian Park, and we were doing the worship service. Mm-hmm. So you started up. You got a couple of fast ones, maybe 2 or 3 fast ones.
Get the energy up.
Get the energy up going. Maybe you're playing when they come in. I'm pretty sure we were playing when
we got to play when they come in.
Mm-hmm. And then we started off. The worship pastor gives a little bit of something, and then we go into it. Boom, couple of songs. Get off. Pastor comes out. Give it up. You know, great stuff. Story. Emotional story. Emotional story, a couple of Bible verses tie in the emotional story, or maybe they give a Bible verse up front and then they tie it into a story somehow. And at the end, they give an altar call, which essentially means like, hey, if there's something that I've said to you tonight and you feel a tugging on your heart to come forward and commit your life to Jesus Christ, go ahead and come on forward.
Stand up and come on down here.
Yeah,
in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it would like evolve to just look at me, just look up at me. Let's make eye contact, and then so somebody would do that, and then
we'll talk to you later
because I see you. Yeah. I see you back there. So they would do that stuff,
which is always kind of, sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
I always felt like it was a little bit of a thing because you knew everybody in the room. Most of the time, if you go to your church, but if you're supposed to have your eyes closed and someone looks up, you're like, how many times? You can't say it 15 times. There's only 200 of us. And we've been here every week for the last 15 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know pastors who've been given an altar call with all heads bowed and all eyes closed to no people looking up and then manufacturing.
That's what I'm getting at.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you there in the back, and there's nobody there in the back. Yeah.
There's only 10 of us here.
I had a guy who told me that, and it was like a confession. He was like, he is very ashamed about it.
Yeah.
But so this particular night, this girl, she's sitting literally as close as you can get to the front of the sanctuary or wherever we were. This cabin is beautiful room, but it's in the woods. And
woods.
Yeah, he gives that altar call presentation, and this girl tries to get up. I assume. I notice something's going on. And by the way, at the end in the altar call, they go, hey, we're going to bring the worship band out here again. And we're going to start to do some worship music.
Those are the longest sets you ever do, right? Sometimes it's 30, 45 minutes long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It absolutely. And, you don't even notice it. You're just going. I remember thinking when I played drums, this is maybe a music thing where I was like, I literally can't stop. Like I couldn't stop playing this if I tried. And then I'd be like, yeah, maybe I could though. And then I'd be like, it would ruin everything.
Right.
And then I'd be like, yeah, I can't. I just can't stop.
Can't stop.
Won't stop.
No.
And so this girl literally starts barking. We hear screaming, like kind of like very low register, scary voice,
like in the movies.
Yeah, kind of like in the movies. She goes, I just remember looking at her, and she literally, her whole body went straight, and she was just leaning on the stood up chair with like her butt is just keeping her from falling down, and she's like barking and like talking, and there's multiple voices at once, shit. And so we like literally we finish up the set, and then we're all like, because they kind of clear everybody out, and we're like still going. And so then we finish up, everybody gets out. So then it's just the worship band, the pastor, this girl, and then like maybe a couple other counselors are there. And they're like, we get out from behind the instruments. We're kind of in the corner like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? The girls are crying, of course. A lot of guys were crying too. But I was very masculine, in the moment. And
you were still masculine back then.
Well, I was wearing, I had put on the armor of the Lord that day.
It's very heavy.
So I had my Bible with me. I was ready to.
Are you gonna do all 7 of them?
No, I can't. I couldn't remember. I just like the shield of truth.
You don't have the breastplate of righteousness on you right now, dude?
Yeah, breastplate.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes, please.
I've developed a crest over the years.
Well, crest plate is what the good people out down at Crest have been putting on teeth.
Yeah, big toothpaste.
Pushing
it into Christianity.
The crest plate. So we all grabbed each other and like huddled in a circle, and we started like praying.
You grabbed everyone in your masculine embrace.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You huddled them around you with your protective arms of righteousness.
And I think it's because we were like trying to get our way out, and then chick went off. Like one popped one. Like
upside down, walking on the ceiling stuff?
No movement. I never saw any movement, but people were like talking to her, and she was not having it. Like there was no communication. It was just like, fuck yeah, like fuck, just like crazy.
Swearing in church?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. It was crazy, but also like immovable object, according to what I saw. So we were all doing. So then when she made one of those noises, that's when we all like held together like we were in a Scooby-Doo cartoon or something,
right?
And started praying. Then we went out to separate, go to the boys' cabin. When I get to the boys' cabin, there's a huge circle of all of the boys and the male counselors, and they're all just singing. And so we're just start singing worship songs,
surrounding like one of the cabins, or just in
no, just in a circle, on the way to the boys' cabin. And then, we like prayed for her. And so the next day we're all eating breakfast. They go, hey, update on, Shangela, my make-em-ups. She's fine. She's doing great. We contacted her family, and she will be with them very shortly. Continue your prayers for her. But it was never like, because we didn't, at the church I grew up, it was never like miracles are real. Like,
really?
Yeah. It was like, it was basically like miracles don't exist anymore because they don't have the same function. Because their function was to prove that Jesus was God, or that
and now we have
that
science.
The God of Moses was real. And so I mean,
it was just a jump starter, really.
Yeah. It was just to prove some stuff in the
burning
beginning.
bushes and stuff.
Yes, he had to get the message out.
Right, because there wasn't no internet back then.
No, there wasn't no internet back then.
Was there?
And you know what the Lord does? You back there, you think, how you gonna talk? How you gonna talk to somebody? And Bible tells us if a man don't speak of the Lord, the rocks will cry out. That's true. That's in the Bible. That is. It really is, folks. And I'll tell you, just like to burn a bush, we got AOL online. That's
right.
And Moses is dialing up.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
He's dialed up Moses.
And he's freaking out. He goes, I'm on holy ground. That's what Moses does. He goes, he takes his sandals right off. Takes them right off.
Almost burned them off.
Yeah. And and I don't know if the Lord has a foot thing or something, but he took those sandals off immediately. Mm-hmm. You get the email from the Lord, you better answer.
You hear that bee-doo, and the Lord's coming. The Lord is coming back.
Dude, I'm like in a weird place with spirituality too, where every time I do something that's blasphemous like that,
you just feel a little bit of something right in the back of your head.
It's more here. It's more here in my chest. It's called anxiety, for sure.
Because what if they're right?
You never know. But I'm saved by the Lord Jesus Christ. I dedicated my life when I was 3 years old.
And I was old enough for cognitive decisions.
That's right. Really, I turned it over in my mind.
I waited. Mm-hmm. I was 7.
Really?
Yeah, I was a little bit of a slow child. But I waited to get baptized until I was 34.
Okay.
Maybe 35.
Wow.
I was on my own as an adult. I hadn't prayed in years.
Yeah.
Work was slow. I've been freelance my whole adult life. Work was slow. I was living in sin with my girlfriend. I go out on the back patio. I've been off work for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I say to the Lord, God, if there's something you want me to be doing right now, I'll do it. Phone rings.
Wild.
It's my youth pastor from high school. Haven't heard from in 10 years.
That's wild.
Hey, man, I heard you were doing film stuff in LA. We're looking for somebody to make us some YouTube videos. Can you come down to Ecuador? Can you come down to South America? When do you want me to leave? 3 weeks.
Yeah.
No problem. I went down there for up to a month for the next 4 years.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
Dude, I had no idea this was going to turn into a Christian podcast.
Yeah.
But I got another one
Let's
that.
go. I have a exorcism story when you're done.
Dude, please. No, when I started stand-up, I lost all interest in T-Mobile, where I was working at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Verizon?
sorry.
Couldn't stand Verizon.
I'm an AT&T man now.
Yeah.
I'm stand up and I'm AT&T and that's it. I want to hear nothing about no Verizon.
It's all stand up. It's no nothing else. All right. I don't want to hear about your service provider.
That's right.
No, I was working.
Sorry.
I worked at T-Mobile as a manager.
Okay, that makes so much more sense.
I worked there for 11 years. It was like my career, so to speak. And once I started doing stand-up, I was like, I kind of lost interest in it. I responded to a situation that was like some bullshit happened with quotas and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And their response was to let me go. So I was freaking the fuck out. So I'm chilling at home in my house that I'm paying for,
paying for.
Yeah. And I'm like, I pray for 30 grand in 3 months. Not immediately. This didn't happen immediately, but at some point, and I put this together sort of later, in the very near future, my brother tells me about an opportunity to start a business to basically replace the advertising campaign that the city is paying for this free program the city's running. Replace it with these, instead of doing the TV commercials and all that shit, replace it with door-to-door, just direct sales. So, okay. How much are they paying every time somebody signs up for this with their current budget right now? He goes, well, right now, they spent this much this year and this much. Oh, wow. It's like $250 per customer they're paying to sign up for this free program. So my brother and I both go, why don't we just go to him and be like, I'll do it for $150 and then we'll hire a bunch of dudes and we'll split it with them. And okay. So at the end of 3 months, the city goes, you've given us too much business. We can't keep up. We're going to be stuck doing these for the next 7-8 years because they only had like 2 people to respond. Mm-hmm. So the business dissolved after 3 months, and I made exactly $30,000.
What if you had asked for $1 million?
I know. I really think about that. I started asking for $1 million, and that has not happened.
Okay, so $1 million's too high. 30's too low.
30's too low, yeah.
69.
Dude.
100 million.
Wow. How about $420,000?
Let's go.
Dude, I'm down. 4.2 million, although not too bad.
Well, if we put the 420 in crypto.
420 Bitcoin? Oh my God.
Okay, have you heard, and this is the tail end of an article I don't even know if I've ever read. Have you heard about Christian crypto?
No.
I haven't either.
I believe it
We
exists.
should start it.
Dude, that's not a bad idea. Because if you can get people who are on that Revelation kick,
Yeah.
the end of time stuff, and they're watching out for the mark of the beast, especially as like more of this injectable field RF communicators and shit.
I think that's the little chip on our cards, man.
Yeah. Well, that's what people think.
It's the watch.
But yeah, you could sell this to those people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, make some dough.
God coin. Mm-hmm. So there's somebody's already doing something about it. I don't know enough. I should have brought it up, but
no, you could people just be like, or do you put faith in our government?
Well, you know who's not going to want it is the preachers. They want good old American hard cash.
I don't know. Somebody wants to get rich though.
Well, I don't think there should be mega. Like, okay, yes, mega church is great. You want to worship with 7,000 people? Cool. Mm-hmm. I like having friends too.
Yeah.
But your preacher shouldn't have a jet for the Lord.
I agree. Yeah. I 100% agree.
What's wrong with flying commercial? Is his time so valuable?
So valuable.
That he can't just wait in the Delta Lounge with the rest of us?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't agree with that at all. Like we did, the church that I was involved with, they split up the congregation amongst, I don't know how many they have now, but something like 5 to 7 different locations. So that way, and then they project the sermon from one of the locations, that the pastor would be at a different location every week.
You're just going somewhere to watch TV?
Yeah,
Because they didn't have a big enough building?
Live music, and then a TV for the sermon.
Every place had their own band. And then the screen.
Yep. And then they'd have a pastor at each campus as well.
You got enough of a problem getting me out of bed.
Yeah, dude.
And now I'm going to get out of bed. I can watch it on YouTube. I can watch you live stream it from my pajamas with Eggs Benedict and a glass of orange juice and decaf coffee with a couple of cubes of ice in it, maybe a drop of honey and a little bit of sugar, a little grapefruit on the side, some sugar on top, Kellogg's cornflakes with a couple of raisins.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. That's too much. That's not a healthy, balanced breakfast.
I mean, it's pretty good, though.
But I could have all that and watch the word of the Lord.
It was pretty good. So they were popping. They were definitely popping. But yeah, they had solved a lot of the problems that churches had in my mind or whatever. But once I started doing stand up, I had to be like, all right, I got to look at this. I got to really look at this, because I was trying to do material, and then I hated doing stand up for Christians. I started hating it.
Yeah, that's tough.
And that would really bother me. You know? And like as a young Christian, I remember thinking like God has no place for like a sense of humor, like a funny guy. Like I was like, oh, there's no place for me, you know. And then I don't see me in the Bible or whatever. And so then I would be like, oh, like, I got to not be silly. Like being silly's bad, So then I'd be kind of like try to hold it back, but I was such a psycho.
Yeah.
Like that it couldn't, so I ended up doing stupid shit. Yeah. But shit, I can't even remember why I started telling that story.
I always thought, because I've wanted to be a comedian my entire life, but I didn't, because I was like, oh, I'm going to say stuff that's going to embarrass my mom and her church friends.
There it is.
So then I was like, oh, if I do comedy, I'll be clean.
Yeah.
And then you get up there and you try and tell a story that's clean, and people are like, what? Okay, I've been in the grocery store too. And then you say one little dirty thing. It's like a hit of smack.
Yep.
You say a little potty humor, and people chuckle. And you're like, and then potty humor, and then, a little masturbation joke.
Oh, yeah.
And
then, dude, I figured out how to be clean. So, I mean, I guess that helps pick it up. But like when I started doing stand up and I was still at the church, I had these audiences that would show up that were all my church people. Like
they just came to support.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin's going to tell some of his jokes tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. And
they would have to sit through the other comedians first.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Did not like that. A lot of them. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of very uncomfortable interactions, and then sometimes people would hire me for their backyard shows or whatever. But needless to say, I was doing a lot of time very quickly. And there was, I don't want to say demand, but like, for a guy who had never done it.
Yeah.
And then like 3 or 4 months in, people are going, hey, could you come do my son's graduation party? I'll give you $500. I'm like, okay.
Let me check my calendar. Yes.
Yeah. So I would do those shows, and I would say things, I would be completely clean, but I'd be like, a homeless guy took a dump in the bed of my pickup truck or whatever. And
that might have been, that's a little much right there.
Right. So then the lady's like, well, there was a girl that spent part of her life being homeless, and so I think she might have been a little offended or whatever, or like I had one person introduce me by going, and now Kevin Tienken to share, to enlighten us with some of his comedy wisdom. Wow. Or bless us. Yeah, bless us.
Oh, it's always a blessing.
Yeah. Bless us with some of his comedy wisdom. Yeah, that was at a benefit for volunteers. It was a dinner. It was these volunteers who worked with kids with special needs to do gymnastics.
And Lord knows they need to laugh.
Yes, and my mother-in-law worked for their front office.
Well,
and dude, and so I'm like, just like, I just want to say you guys are great. You know, I didn't no clue what I was doing.
Y'all are out here doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, but I swung at it for about 30 minutes, and
that's a long time.
It's a very long time.
You didn't have any jokes. You just up there making stuff up?
I mean, I had some jokes, but a lot of it was like, the interactions that they had and other volunteers had told me, or like other teachers of kids with special needs, or like all these funny interactions that weren't like offensive. But
right.
So I told a lot of those type of stories and things, and I had a couple of little bits here and there, but I fought my way through it. But yeah, I started to get to a point where I was just like, I don't want to entertain this audience anymore, because it's just like, I feel like I'm always like walking on eggshells.
Yeah. I felt like that just sitting in the pews every week.
Yeah. Yeah. So and I'd always felt like that my whole life. So then when I just started doing stand up, it was like, I had this real conversation in my mind of Rob, my buddy Rob Wilcock, who was the pastor for the junior high at the time, telling me that there's a time and a place. And I finally was like, when I started doing stand up, I'm like, this is it. This is the time and a place to be a complete idiot. Mm-hmm. And a podcast is the same type of thing.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is the place I can be a moron. And I don't have to hide it anymore. And then I would get real anxious, because I would be like, I want to say whatever I want. But then I'd be on stage on Sunday, playing the drums for the Lord. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't. And so I just like, ripped the Band-Aid off. I was like, I gotta take a break,
from drumming
and everything.
Did drumming feel weird because you were out there telling Satan's jokes on Friday night?
I mean, it wasn't even, because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want somebody to see me and be like, oh, there's a man of God.
Yeah.
And then, go to the comedy club, or, Thai Palms, which was this Thai restaurant that did stand up, mm-hmm. and then go like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's
because you can't just be, for those of you who didn't grow up in the church, you can't just be the drummer.
No.
Your
life has to be right.
Yeah. You can't just, because that's why the best musicians in the church aren't in the praise and worship band.
Yeah.
They're the people that want to put their life forward and be an example.
Yeah.
And that's why I got out of it too. I was like, I'm jamming. And they're like, we saw you skateboarding and smoking cigarettes. And I was like, uh-huh. And they were like, you can't do that. And I was like, but I do it.
Yeah.
And they were like, but you can't. And I was like, but I'm gonna. And they were like, and I drink too. And they were like, oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, dude. My backyard became a mecca for men who wanted to drink and smoke and not get judged.
Oh.
Yeah.
And still go to church.
So, and this was before I did stand up, but it was I guess it was just kind of an extension of what I'd done throughout high school and college.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for over a decade, people would come over to my house and, drink or smoke, and just like, we'd get up to some little shenanigans, like get on chat roulette and have, one of the guys talk to somebody. And,
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did that for a really long time.
I always thought it was weird that cigars were socially acceptable. Mm-hmm. The boys could get around and play an old, like, Monopoly and have a cigar together with the rich dentist down the street.
Yeah.
He had a little house in the back.
Yeah.
A little man cave. We can all, sip on some root beer and smoke a cigar.
Dude, those are the best.
But I remember, so my mom's best friend in the church, I'm not going to say her name, but her husband's name was Jerry. Jerry smoked cigarettes, and they always sat one row ahead of us. And I thought he smelled so good every week. And I thought he was the coolest dude. His face was pitted out. I thought he was 75 when he was 40. And he's one of the reasons why I started smoking cigarettes.
You're like, I need to be like Jerry.
Yeah. And now I smell people who smoke cigarettes, and I'm like, oh, I've made people that feel this thought that I'm having, which is you smell like shit a million times.
Yes. Yeah. I started smoking when I moved here, smoking cigarettes for a little while. And I don't even know why. I think I know why now, because I think I was just trying to separate myself from who I'd been identified as in Fresno. And now it's like so weird because it's been so long that I've just separated out here. Like nobody even would associate with me with church stuff out here unless I told them about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's like a weird spot where it's like I'm just like smoking weed because I was trying to look cool or whatever. But now I'm just addicted to everything. So like just smoking everything. I'm vaping. You know, it's like. But yeah, there's nobody to be cool in front of anymore.
Yeah, it's no longer about being cool. It's about like just escapism, self-medication. I'm on day 3 of not drinking.
Whew, good for you, man.
I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah. I got a buddy that does that. He does.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
No,
I'm just coming off a bender. So, well, for what I do on travel jobs, there's a hotel bar, and you know,
yeah.
boss man has his credit card down every night. And he just goes on the room, and you're lonely. So you get off work, you work a 12-hour day. You get off work, can't sleep because we're out here filming. So then you go to the bar with the whole crew, and you have a couple shots, and you know we're in Tennessee, excuse me. And there's just this big old whiskey selection, and you're like, I'm lonely. I just want to drink myself to sleep. 10 days later, you're like, man, my liver hurts.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You got to back it off.
I'm backing off.
That's
especially
good.
when like last night I was like, well, maybe I'll just have one beer. I was sitting at my computer working. I was like, what are you doing? If you got, I gotta chill out. I know I gotta chill out.
Dude, I do the same shit with weed. You know, I take breaks. I try to quit, and then I go back, and then you know I try to quit, and then I'm like I'll go back, and then I'll be like I'm taking a break because I'm like I can't. I don't think I can say forever.
No.
And then everything. It's so funny because like my friends. Like you know Ben Avery for one. I remember he'd always anytime I'd take a break, he's like, "See how much better everything is?"
Right.
And I'd be like, "Yeah." And then I end up smoking again. You know, it's like
it's true though. It's like the amount of days it takes to string together like feeling awesome. Is 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a self-punishment thing. Once I start feeling good, I'm like, well, we got to ruin this.
Yeah.
We got to go just pour whiskey down our throat. So
we got to go big time tonight.
Yeah, because I think it's rebelling against the thought of quitting forever.
Yeah. I think it is.
But I've been doing that for 25 years.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
I mean, I don't need to keep getting drunk on a Tuesday. Like that doesn't make any sense. I've also not ever had a 9 to 5.
You've been getting drunk for 25 years?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's actually good. Dude, good for you,
I was
man.
like, I was like, you're so supportive,
That's
man.
cool. Did you get a chip?
I did. Yeah, I got the golden placard.
Yeah, dude.
YouTube sent me a giant keep on drinking triangle the other day.
Great work on all your years of boozing.
I think some of it is like, you know, like you said, it's like some of the people who have permanently stopped drinking, just they make me want to drink more.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
but I do see how quickly people's lives turn around and how successful they get and how much money they have. And I'm like, maybe if I just stop for 6 months and get where I need to go, maybe that $420,000 is on the other end of that 6 months.
Dude, maybe that 4.2 or maybe 420 million, dude.
I'm down.
I'm gonna throw a couple of prayers up.
Yeah. This podcast got bought by Spotify for $420 million, more than Joe Rogan got.
Dude, that's wild. Yeah, it's just it's the result. The answer to the prayer is inflation.
Yeah,
it's like, well,
pesos. We got 420 million pesos.
Yeah, dude, you're set.
Yeah,
you're set.
It's about $37. Yeah,
dude, I'm looking over here at your
questions
list of questions.
We haven't gotten to a single one of them.
I know it's pretty cool though.
Yeah,
because of the freedom, you know, that we felt here, you know, and so much. It's riff friendly.
It's very riff friendly. I've actually been thinking that I've been derailing the riffs because I've been interested in your story.
Yeah.
And then now I'm considering, because we had this long chat before we started recording about why my podcast sucks. And there's a million reasons. But I'm just a naturally curious guy. And I think I'm more conversational than I am like I like getting zany and funny. And I want to do that.
Yeah.
But then you say something and I'm like, wait, no, I have that same lived experience. Tell me more about it. And then I want to get into story time.
Yeah.
And then I want to dip in and out.
Yeah.
I'm a dipper in or an outer.
I like a dip in. I like a dip out.
Yeah.
Todd Glass has the Run from the Bit song that he does. He'll do some insane bit and then he'll play that song to get out of it. The illustrious Todd Glass show.
Yes.
Todd
Glass is so fun.
Yes. I've always tried to, and it's jarring for some of my co-hosts in the past, because I would want to be intimate sexually with them on the podcast.
Yeah.
And
it's hard with the headphones, though.
It's hard with the headphones, the tangled wires. It's a mess down there, and then getting the levels right, with the slapping and the, all the screaming.
The dick levels.
Yeah, it was always, the biggest problem was keeping the mics, at the perfect
in your ass
distance into each other's ass. But other than that, I think we would have taken off.
I mean, if it wasn't for all the sex stuff.
Yeah. No, I would throw some emotional intimacy at some dudes.
Oh, some people can't handle it.
Some people can't handle it. They don't want it, dude. I came from a culture that rewarded vulnerability and honesty and deepening relationships so much.
Yeah.
I throw that shit out here around in LA, and some people will be like,
are you fucking with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. Yeah, we were talking about we were talking about the Comedy Store door guys, and Luke Schwartz used to do that shit all the time. Like, how are you doing, man? He goes, yeah, good stuff. And I'd be like, Luke?
Yeah. Are you okay, bud?
Yeah, everything all right? I'm like, you're kind of on autopilot with this bit. You just live your whole life like this?
Yeah. I mean, no.
Like, who are you? Tell me who you are. I want to know you.
I did that during pandemic.
Yeah.
So I have a rule, going back to drinking, I have a rule that I won't drink alone. So during pandemic, I couldn't be around anybody. I would go to the store, I'd get beer, and I would come back and I would call people on the phone to check in on them until I got somebody on the phone. And then I would just find someone else who was lonely and just sit there and listen to them chat, watch TV, play video games, whatever. Yeah. But then I would sit there and drink and go, But it was me being lonely and reaching out. And I go, hey, what's going on, man? I'm like, oh, no, tell me about you.
Yeah.
But in reality, I could have just called him like, man, I'm feeling kind of lonely right now. I just want to talk to somebody on the phone.
Yeah.
But I felt like if I admitted that, they'd be like, oh, I'm real busy right now, dude. So maybe you can call me back. I've
experienced it. Yeah. I've experienced some similar things where, some people don't want it. Some people don't want it. They're scared, or they just don't have that in their history or don't have it in them. Yeah. Some guys. And, it is always, it cracks me up when it happens because I don't know. It's so funny to me to see somebody uncomfortable because I'm like, you're still sleeping with your wife?
What a church joke.
Yeah. You guys, how's the sex life?
You still living with that lady they had kids with? My dad's church joke every Sunday. I love this. He would go up and be like, hey, Isaac. And then you would go, oh, hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
And we'd just trade names. And I would laugh and laugh. He's like, oh, he said his name was Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a kid.
Dude, I did a fake radio show when I was in fourth and fifth grade. And I just would be me and my buddy James, fake radio show back and forth, doing characters, doing fake voice call-ins or whatever. And I have the tape still.
Wow.
And I've got, there's this part where we're in my dad's car and we're doing bits and we're interviewing my dad, and I give him a fake name, and my dad starts doing bits.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got peanut butter stuck in the roof of my mouth. And so then we're just giggling. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I didn't remember that, and I listened back. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. My dad would play along or whatever. Cause he was religious, very religious. He was the, missions director for our church that we grew up in, and kind of does that exclusively, and now he's like on a board of directors for Habitat for Humanity or something, for something as a volunteer thing or whatever. But he's still big into it, but he's super supportive, but he'd make a lot of cheesy jokes. I can't even remember them because some of them were just like, Dad,
yeah,
please.
I mean, there's dad jokes, and then there's like church dad jokes.
Yeah.
And they collect them, and they trade them around.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, hey, you heard this one? And you're like, that's the cleanest thing I have ever heard. So I went to a private Christian school, and I say this every time. It sounds fancy, but it's not. From 3rd grade to 8th grade.
Okay.
We would have book fairs.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, the book fair would roll off of a secular school and come straight to us. I would always buy the joke books. And I would run up to the teachers and be like, you want to hear a joke? And I would just flip it open and I'd read the first thing. Yeah. And I could tell that I got my hands on a book I wasn't supposed to have 1 year, because I was running around to all the teachers and I would see their faces and go, If you're just listening, I made a smile and then I dropped my face. And I finally went all the way up to like the principal. And I'm like, check this one out. And I just flip it open and read him one. He just grabbed the book. He's like, we'll go ahead and switch this one out for a different one.
Man, yeah, you blew it, dude. You told them yourself.
I did, but I didn't know I could read. I was in 3rd grade and I had a joke book.
Yeah, dude, I had a couple of Calvin and Hobbes. Those were the big ones that I had that were like, kind of wasn't supposed to have or whatever. Calvin and Hobbes, and then the Far Side. I had a lot of Far Side stuff, but I know my parents didn't really mind any of that stuff.
I couldn't watch The Simpsons.
I couldn't watch The Simpsons either.
Couldn't watch Home Improvement.
Oh, wow.
That was too risky until our assistant pastor was telling story. Did y'all see Home Improvement last week?
Dude.
And I was like, Mom, Jeff is watching it. Jeff's watching it. We can watch it.
Yeah. Why didn't they want you to watch? Did they ever say?
I think she thought she had seen some Tim Allen stand up before, and she was like, "No, he's filthy. He's filthy. He's filthy.
Yeah.
He's filthy." That was her word. Filthy.
Yeah, he's your mom's Al Borland's wife. Like,
yeah. I love doing the impression of my mom, but she doesn't sound anything like. She grew up in Jersey, but she's lived in the South for 30 years.
Yeah.
So now we're just praise the Lord. We're just down here. We're going to church, and we're just. There's a lot more. I put a little bit of a Jewish accent in it sometimes when I'm not on the spot.
Dude, those are hard. The mixes. I had a friend who was born overseas in the UK, and then moved to Brooklyn, and so had that weird thing, and then moved to California, and was So it was like he had
That's
the
a tough
weird
crossover.
Yeah, weird accent.
Yeah,
but had a couple like sore. I saw,
Oh yeah.
Sore, like that.
Warsh.
Yeah, yeah. It was always, but it was just such an interesting mix.
Yeah.
You're like, where did that come from? Because I was a guy who was doing accents all the time, when I was fucking around and recording myself. And yeah, dude, that's still like one of my favorite things ever. Like that tape, just like that memory.
Oh man, the first time we ever did acid, we recorded it.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
And we like documented it, and we cannot find the tapes.
Dude, that's how it goes.
Here's a crazy story. We're doing acid for the first time, and my buddy's like, we're out of cigarettes. We got to go get cigarettes. All right, I'll drive. We lived in a country farmhouse outside of town. And so I'm driving. My buddy Adam's here. My buddy J-Dog's in the back. Little J-Dog. We're driving down the road, and I just decide to gun it. And I'm like, I won't fuck with these guys. And I'm like, do you want to die? You're going to die tonight. And we're on acid, dude.
Dude,
and all of a sudden,
insane.
Out of the back seat, Jason goes, slow down, man. There's a cop.
Fuck.
And I hit the brakes. We come up to an intersection, right? So this is the road, and we just stop. And it's a 2-lane road this way and a 2-lane road that way. We're stopped. And I don't know for how long. Could have been a minute.
Yeah.
And over the hill, we see blue, red, flashing. And this cop, Dukes of Hazzards over the hill.
What the hell?
And lands and just speeds past us. And we just sat there for another 5 minutes. We were like, J-Duck, how did you know that was a cop? He was like, he just shrugged it off. He was like,
oh no, man.
What cop, dude? It's crazy.
You're like, did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, those, man, you are insane, dude. Driving on acid, I don't think I could do it.
I mean, it was just, we had to get cigarettes.
Yeah, that's true.
But when we got to the store, it was so late that they wouldn't let you in the door. It was the window only.
Yeah.
So my buddy takes his empty pack out and slams them on the glass, and he's like, Smoky. I'm like, dude, just say I need cigarettes. That's all you have to say. Yeah. Like the guy speaks English.
Smoky. Yeah, dude, that's a great way to get respect for the cashier at the local gas station.
Yeah.
I like to go to the local ass station. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've been there.
I go fill me up.
You can pump me up whenever you want to.
Dude, I feel like I'm going to the ass station when I use my new bidet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. Do you call it the ass station?
Oh yeah, dude. It's sometimes it gets you clean. You know what I mean? And
you've been selling it pretty hard.
It gets you clean, and if you really relax on there,
it'll
give you a deep clean.
A little water buildup.
Oh yeah. I'm like, look, I made eye contact with the camera and looked away real quick. Like, yeah.
Let me tell you what.
Dude, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid, dude. Yeah, as long as I don't stay in there for too long, because then my wife, she starts banging on the door, it's either me or the bidet. And I'm like, that's all right.
Leave.
Yeah, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. It's a Sophie's choice, though.
Don't go letting your mouth right checks your ass kick cash.
I'm like, this is not better than occasional sex.
Right. Which is the only reason to get married.
Oh, it really is. Yeah. I mean, you want to lock in occasional sex.
Do you or someone you love want to fuck once, maybe twice a year?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to be in a relationship where you just naturally keep count of how many times, get married? Do you want to schedule your romantic encounters?
See you Thursday at 4.
Get engaged. I mean, and then do you want to have a lot of those scheduled appointments get canceled?
You know what they told us in our church? They said the day you get married, you get a jar. And then for the first 2 years, you put a dime or a penny in it.
Yeah.
And you'll fill that jar up in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the time you're married, you take a penny out. And you'll never empty that jar. And I was like, people are lining up to get married in the early 20s. I went to 7 weddings when I was 22, bought 1 suit. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. Did you guys hear the jar story?
Yeah, dude. It's I always loved those sermons on relationships. Mm-hmm. They did a Song of Solomon series, and those things would crack me up. They'd segregate the men from the women at certain points, for this Song of Solomon thing. But yeah, the mountains of Bether, the talking about her jugs,
wow,
sitting under her tree and enjoying her choice fruits,
that's like, risque stuff right there.
Oh yeah, Solomon, he was a dirty dog. He was fucking like a hamster though.
He was fucking a hamster?
Like a hamster.
Oh,
yeah. They fucking
in the likeness of a
hamster.
Most people go rabbit. You went hamster.
I try not to steal from the originator of rabbit. You know what I mean?
You're not a rabbit plagiarizer.
That's his riff. Whoever that is, the first guy to say fucking like rabbits.
Roger, basically.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah.
Roger Rabbit.
Who framed him?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll never know.
Yeah, but that guy, he had a bunch of wives and concubines.
800 or something, right?
Yeah, and then they're like, it was a lot easier to only fuck your wife if you have thousands of wives,
Yeah, let's bring that back.
Yeah. I like it. Keep them in one part of the house. They're not allowed to come over unless it's their night. You know what I mean?
Well, according to Big Love on HBO.
Love that show.
You got to buy them all their own house.
Yeah. I can't afford it.
I was always impressed by religious dudes who had the money hustle, but acted poor. Like kept all their, they drove the one car for the whole family, but that they're making $80 billion a year. Yeah, dude. We had, we were tied with some people from the Producers Dairy family. And it was, you never know. You'd never know. But then they donate like a huge wing at the college or something. You're like, this whole thing? That's generational wealth.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of 18 or 20 kids and counting or whatever.
Sorry, I'm like, I got to adjust my back real quick.
Do you need some lumbar support?
Oh, I got it. I just got to start slouching, I got to look good. Yeah, I get
I slouch
I'm going to
pretty
be
good.
off camera eventually. That's what most podcasts, by the time I'm done, I'm just like, yeah, dude, fucking.
I used to have big fluffy chairs in here, and that's what would happen. We would just start slouching back.
Hell yeah, dude. And that's when my mom left. And,
yeah.
And then.
But then you look at Matt and Shane; they're just sitting on a couch with handheld mics.
Bro, I'm telling you, there's no formula.
I know. And comparison is the thief of joy. If I hear that one more time this week, I'm going to puke.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm reading a book right now, or I'm listening to a
book? No way, dude.
Yeah. It's called
Books.
The Courage to Be Disliked. And
I got that.
It's great.
I love it.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. I got a lot of those self-help books. I have them in a folder called Put the Gun Down. Oh. And then I click on the folder.
That's funny.
And then all my self-help books pop up.
Yeah.
Dude, you want? So I have one joke about therapy, which is just very simple. Oh no, I guess I have two now. Sorry, I had to correct myself.
This double therapy joking motherfucker.
I know. I'm sorry. No, but it was, everybody wants to be a comedian. My therapist wants to be a comedian. I told him I'm suicidal. He goes, how suicidal are you? Yeah, that's that one. And then I guess I did another one where it's not really a joke. I just told people, because I did the online thing, BetterHelp or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I basically equated me putting up clips every day to my mental health. So I'm like, I need, because he's like cognitive behavioral, meaning he gives you orders of specific things to do.
Yeah. Sounds like a coach more than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, every time I talk to my therapist, he'd be like, hey, you posting clips?
Like he wanted you to?
Yeah.
Like that was good for your mental health?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it?
Well, for me, because if I'm not, I feel like a total piece of shit.
I do too.
And
if I miss a day, I missed all last week and this week. And I feel like
I missed the first 11 years of my career, basically. So my career, I could have been posting much earlier. I have a 30-minute 3-camera shot thing that's like 10 years old.
Put it out.
I know I should just put it out, but it's also like one of those things I'm embarrassed of it. I still have ego about it, but yeah, there's some things that I'm like, I'm gonna look different and people are going to talk shit. But ultimately it's like the advertisers for reels and clips are like, how to make 1,000 clips every hour.
Right.
Like, and he goes, oh, I'm going to talk to you about how I make 1,000 clips every second. It's like
for free.
Yeah. Yeah. But literally, I think that's what you got to do. You put out the same shit, even just keep putting it out.
You know what's really grinding my gears right now is that there's people who take
gay marriage.
Well, that and that's a whole nother podcast.
The Indians.
Okay, the end. Gay marriage Indians. Gay Indian marriages.
Dude, it's the worst.
I
now pronounce you husband and husband.
Oh, you went that Indian. I went American Indian.
I now pronounce you husband and husband.
How? Like everybody else.
Wind blows softly. Do you take dancing monkey to be your lawfully wedded?
That's very close to Boomhauer.
It is. Sorry.
Or no. Hank Hill.
Yeah. Propane, Bobby. God damn it.
Very good.
Yeah. I was trying to. I get. That's another thing. There's an edge of it.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for coming to the ceremony today.
That's it. That's not quite Hank anymore.
No. That's Hank Hill. Thanks for coming out today. We're very glad that Bobby, God damn it, get the ring.
I used to be able to do it. Now that you did it so well, I don't even want to try it.
Yeah, dude. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I used to. Now I bet you got a good Beavis and Butthead on you too.
I don't.
Oh.
Well, yeah, Beavis.
Well, fuck you then.
Beavis. I mean, I can't really. There's some. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah. There's guys that do it so spot on.
Right.
I'm like, those are ones that I can't do. I do a lot of, like I said, like a lot of character stuff, but like specifics. Unless they're one of Dana Carvey's impressions.
Yeah.
Then I can't do it.
Dude, he breaks it down.
Not gonna do it.
Right.
I can't do that one good.
Ross Perot.
4 more years.
4 more years. So,
8 points of light.
They're going to reelect Trump or what?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I mean, are you going to reelect Trump?
I don't vote.
Same.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends?
Maybe. Do you want to do karate in the garage?
Again?
Yeah. Dude, I felt like Joe Biden lost the election to whoever is running against him. Because
felt like he already lost it?
Yeah. I feel like Joe Biden's been losing the election for the last couple of years. Just his mental state. And then the Democrats got nothing. All their excuse. I mean, even now they're like, oh, he's COVID. That's why. That's why.
Yeah.
He looked.
Remember that thing we gave all of you on purpose 4 years ago?
Yeah.
We gave it to the president.
Yeah. It's dude.
The one thing none of us want to think about ever again. You just put it in the national news and gave it to a guy who's losing the election.
Absolutely insane. Well, I mean, Trump got shot. You got to give him something.
Did he?
Oh, he did, dude. Dude, I saw. Did you see that 3D modeling of?
Oh yeah.
That shit is wild because they tracked the first bullet that misses, and then the second one that would have hit him fucking right in the back of the.
But it hit the fire in the head.
Yeah, but then just grazed his ear, dude. It's like It's wild. Because I thought I there's all the theories and shit, but the one that says, do you think that did he stage this to have? I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think
it's tough.
A sharpshooter,
a 20-year-old sharpshooter. Come on,
there's no way.
Here's the thing: the kid was in a BlackRock commercial. The building's owned by BlackRock. The Secret Service let him up to do the fist pump. Okay, so I've been watching TikTok on this.
Let Trump up. Yeah.
And everybody spotted the shooter for 3 minutes. Nobody got him.
Yes.
So here's my thing. Couple things that I have a problem with. And I don't give a shit either way. This doesn't affect me, and I'm not trying to get on a watch list.
Yeah.
But for him to get up, I watched the TikTok. This is my research. Watching a TikTok from a former military guy.
Yes.
There's a squasher, a runner, and a fucker. Right? There's 3 guys. I didn't get the names right.
To encapsulate him in.
Right. You tackle the guy, you get him on the ground. And then you pick him up like a bag and you run towards an armored vehicle. There are guys in front of you clearing a path.
Yeah.
There were photographers in the way.
Yeah.
There were photographers right in the right spot.
Yep.
And then the photographer who got the right picture with the bullet going by happened to share the metadata of the camera. He happened to be shooting a guy standing still, giving a speech at 1/8,000th of a second. Now, if you're not a camera person,
yeah.
regular photography is about 1/100th.
Full sunlight.
Yeah, but he was at like an f8, f11.
Yeah. I wonder what it was on.
He was on a telephoto.
I know. I mean, what priority? If it was like aperture priority.
We could pull it up. Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie,
pull that up.
Yeah, I wonder.
But that's my only thing. There's a lot of just like, hey, look, if it really happened,
definitely on the skepticism side of it, for sure. Yeah,
it's not on the level.
Well, it's like I value all that shit, and I put it into the soup of opinion or whatever, like, because it's like, I guess the ultimate, like, the only thing you can say that's like for sure is that it happened, Yeah. And there's a couple of sketchy things that happened around it, where you go, why, and then. Because like him he stayed there for a while, in the president's been shot time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I would imagine the rushing off very quickly. So that's another. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I don't know. I don't think it just doesn't make sense.
None of it makes any sense at all. You can't pay a 20-year-old kid to graze you.
Yeah.
In case he gets it wrong.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
And that's why that model, the 3D model of like his location and the way he turned his head and it's just, I think it was an actual assassination attempt.
I agree.
But I don't exactly know. Yeah, I don't really know. But it doesn't seem like that could be that he would put his life on the line like that. You know what I mean?
I don't think you're ever going to put yourself in front of a real shooter that you hire.
Yeah.
But the odds of a photographer catching the bullet.
Yeah.
And getting that picture.
Yeah.
To the national news inside of an hour.
Yeah.
As a photographer.
Yeah.
I can barely get a comedian when he's laughing.
Yeah.
Right? You have 1/1 of a second to press the shutter at the right time.
Yeah.
Or you have all afternoon to Photoshop a streak next to his head.
Mm-hmm. Did it say the time the picture was taken in the metadata?
But here's the thing. In defense of him, none of my cameras have the right time baked in.
Yeah, that's true.
They all say Christmas 1974.
True. Yeah. That is very true. No, dude, I don't know, man. I do think it's interesting to see, because I've often felt, and I don't know if this is from being a comedian in Christian's clothing for so long, but I've often felt like I didn't necessarily relate to a lot of things, but where I'm more of like an observer. So like a passionate opinion about a political pundit. I'm like, I've never felt that. I've never felt like, fuck yeah, or fuck him. I've never, right. I'm like, it's the president. It was explained to me as a child in school, the power the president has. I'm completely aware of the capabilities that they have.
Right.
But I also think that maybe BlackRock, that type of overlord, government, the secret thing is probably very likely, so it's like the president, like, we're worried about this shit,
Yeah. And then if you take it all the way back, like, let's say we had social media, 24-hour news cycles, and cell phones when Lincoln got shot.
Yeah.
What kind of trash were we talking about John Wilkes Booth? He had a pretty good aim. I mean, he was like 3 feet away. So
yeah.
But what if he didn't do it?
Dude, or was Teddy Roosevelt's guy right in front of him? I don't know if it was
somebody got pretty close to Reagan. So Reagan got hit and lived.
Yeah.
So watch that Secret Service tape.
Yeah.
That's a football pylon like you have never seen, and he's in the car in like 4 seconds.
I bet.
Bop, boom, he's out.
Yep. Interesting.
They just don't make them like they used to.
They don't make them like they used to. It's, you know what it is? These lazy millennials.
It's these lazy. No, you can't even get nobody to work no more.
Is it the millennials that are lazy? I can't remember what's.
Well, we're millennials.
Are we? Yeah. What are the? What's the other?
Gen Alpha.
The Gen Alpha.
Gen
people?
Alpha. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember. I always have a hard time remembering generations.
I feel like I'm talking to myself.
Except for the greatest generation.
Well, us.
Yeah,
we're the children of the greatest generation.
Every generation is the greatest.
Oh yeah,
that's what I learned.
Somebody said the other day, they were like, "Man, I can't believe how these kids are talking," and then they instantly cut to a clip of Pauly Shore in 1998.
Yeah, dude,
it's always gonna be there.
Absolutely,
just different words.
Dude, my son, he talks like he'll like reference the Skibbity toilet and Riz and fucking, what is it, Libby Dunn.
I don't know any of that stuff.
There's all these meme bullshit, and so like he's aware of it and kind of lets me know that it exists, and then he's like, it's so dumb or whatever. So then I'll find like a video, I'm like, oh, I thought of you, I saw this like an AI generated cartoon of like all these different words being thrown in, like just a soup of that terminology. And he's like, Dad, dude, turn it off, Dad. Dude, it's brain rot. It's brain rot, Dad. Don't watch that. And I'm like, I thought you liked it. And he's like, no, Dad. And then the other night, my daughter has people over to have a sleepover. My son's there, and he starts saying shit like Skibbity, Riz, like shit. And what was he calling himself? He's gonna get mad at me if I don't quote him correctly. But
well, I'm sure he's watching.
He might be at this point. Who knows? I told
definitely didn't make it past the church stuff.
No, no, probably not. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, the kid. I've told them multiple times. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I've told them each individually that if you ever really, really want to get to know me, there are thousands of hours of recorded audio of me available online.
I can't imagine being able to get online right now and just watch my dad talk shit with his friends.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy to think about.
Yep.
I now have to go purge the internet of the first 151 episodes of this show.
Dude, that was brain jail for me. That was the ultimate, like, I'm just gonna let it go. Just let go. It's fine. It is what it is, because any idea of making it in a conventional way in Hollywood is not the path that's going to work for me, at this point.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't make any difference.
Okay. So when you say make it in Hollywood, right, are you specifically talking about comedy, or are you talking about the path where you go and audition for a ton of stuff, get on a TV show, and then as a comedian, you're finally respected because you're known and you built an audience?
Yeah, I don't know. I more so mean being hireable. You know what I mean? Like where somebody would be like, I want to hire this guy. Unless you just become famous and then nobody cares anyway.
Right.
The Shane Gillis kind of thing. It's like, just be famous. Right. Nobody gives a shit.
There is no path to becoming a comedian by just doing comedy anymore.
No way. It's gone.
If you have to have hit it at the right time. I think, Craig Conant's blowing up right now without having been on television.
Yeah.
But there's very few. Unless you're speaking to a very, very, I don't want to say small because America has tons of people in it, but like the Ralph Barbosas and the Alfred Roboses have this like instant blow up. But Alfred opened for Fluffy for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the guys that were famous when I started following comedy, still famous now.
Yeah.
There's no new guys.
No.
It's a club, and they're not letting you in.
Yeah. Now, I mean, when you think about like an industry, the people that make this shit happen, that connect, artists to these projects and whatnot, those people are going, their job is now, who has the most followers, who's willing to work with me.
Right.
And so if you walk in and you go, I'm very funny, they go, how many followers do you have?
Right. How funny are you?
Yeah. So they don't give a flying fuck about the content.
They don't care that you could buy those followers either.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, it's just the game is completely changed.
Right. But in the spirit of not just bitching about why we're not famous, let's figure out the solution.
Yes.
Is there a market? Let's call it the Pete Holmes market.
Yeah.
This is a leading question that I want to be right about.
Sure.
Which is the thing that Pete says on his podcast. Where's the market between like the ultra, I never believed in God, and the people who grew up in church and gave up, right? I think Pete honed that in.
He did.
Feels like that's a market that we should be learning how to tap into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it's like post-church still kind of have core values.
Yeah.
But like, I'll say a swear word and go see an R movie.
I'll say a swears. I'll puff on the devil's lettuce.
I will touch the pot.
Yeah. I'll actually have a spiritual experience through psychedelics.
Yeah.
The first one I ever had. So wild, because I was after church, I was like, oh wow. This is
like Sunday at 12:30. You're just dropping. It was after church,
dude. That would rule.
Yeah,
just to do a big long worship set, just flying out of our minds.
Oh man, I'd play bass for you.
Yeah, dude. It'd be great, man. We'd have some solos that the pastors would have to have a conversation with us
bass
about later.
solo. Our God is an awesome God for like 4 hours.
Dude, that's more a horn. Yeah, I've seen some bass solos in worship band, I think 2 or 3 times in like multiple decades, but I saw some.
Popping and slapping.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I can't pop or slap.
Yeah, dude. Shimaluski, this was guy we used to call. Yeah, he could play the fuck out of some slap bass. Yeah, Booski.
Church funk bass players are lethal.
Dude, oh, yeah. Oh, the super valuable. Yeah.
Black church drummers.
That's all I ever wanted to be.
Forget it. They're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best. I got a buddy, Joe Connor, lives in Vegas. Probably the best drummer I have ever seen in my whole life. You sit him down at they just do these insane timings. And then like you're like, is he going to be able to bring that back? Because it gets so far off.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I think you've lost your waistline. Oh, he's back.
They'll come back.
Yeah, they'll come back.
Oh, they're going to come
back. They
back.
never get lost.
No. Oh, those are my favorite things ever. Yeah, I played drums in a black church a couple of times, and it was so much fun, man.
And then they found you and they kicked you out?
No.
You mean while there were people there?
Dude, so when I was in high school, and you probably know this as a bass player too, it's like everybody played guitar.
Yeah.
And nobody really played drums or bass, and so I was in high demand. Which meant I played in like 3 different soul bands. I played in 2 different rap groups, very shortly in the rap groups. But I remember one of the guys, he goes, man, we're going to call you Kevon Jones. Because I was getting groovy. Mm-hmm. And he's like, man, we're going to call you Kevin. We're going to call you Kevon Jones. I was like, I'll take it.
I'm Kevon now.
Yeah. I'll absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved being the only white guy around. It was nice, so there were some of those situations where I'd be like, "Oh, I play drums. I'm pretty groovy. Again, that's pretty groovy." And
I can do that.
Yeah, let me show you.
Yeah. My name's Kevon.
My name's Kevon Jones.
Hey, everybody, Kevon. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, dude. I throw down a groove, dude. I'd throw it down hard. With some cross sticking. And
you ever throw it down soft?
Oh, I'll throw it down real soft.
Yeah,
dude. One of my exercises was put a metronome like as slow as it would go and try to play a beat to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and or play really fast but really soft. Like that was another thing to like try to get
all in the
motor
wrist
control.
Yeah.
Good times. Miss it, dude.
Yeah.
I miss playing.
We got to go play some drums right now.
Dude, I'm down. Let's go find a marching band somewhere.
Well, there's a place in North Hollywood you could rent a practice room. It's got drums set up in it right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I'll tell you all about it. Well, let's wrap this shit up so I'll tell you all about the drum thing.
All right. Let's put a condom on her and have a Merry Christmas.
On him?
That's right.
On them.
On her.
On her. Better on her than in her.
Get her done.
Or you get her somewhere.
Get her pregnant. Dude, I hate condoms. I want to put that out there.
Okay. Married guy.
Real quick, just before we go.
They didn't even have condoms before you got married.
I don't think they did. You had to kill an animal and use its intestines. Yeah.
Twist up the end.
Yeah.
And the lady thought your dick was a little longer.
The good old days. That was my sex ed growing up. I was a man with a staff, and the sheep kept interrupting. But he was like, "This is how you put it on," and had to kill a sheep.
I was never told about condoms.
No,
but we got a sex trip.
Oh, wow.
When we were 12. So my sister's 2 years older than me. Well, Mom took her away for the weekend.
Yeah.
She came back a woman. When I turned 12, we went to the Greensboro Mall. It was an hour away. And we stayed at the Holiday Inn. And then Saturday before dinner, Dad sat me down. He's like, "This is what sex is.
Wow.
Do this. You put it there. You good? You hungry?"
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad. No foreplay?
No, we just fucked right away.
Did we? Your dad's like, "This is how it goes, son. Look, I hate doing this, but
visual demonstration.
My father, he had to teach me, and now I got to teach you."
Come from a long line of chicken fuckers.
Yeah. Dude, the old sex stuff. I had Dr. James Dobson.
Dr. Dobbs, he's like my second dad.
Yeah, dude. I had they gave us a book, Preparing for Adolescence.
Yep.
And
you opened it up, had like tapes in the plastic, right?
Oh yeah. We had I had the book. I had the actual book.
Yeah. There's a spiral bound book.
Yeah.
He probably had 60 different versions.
Yeah.
You open the case.
Yeah.
And the book was on this side, and then the tapes were snapped into the plastic on the right. You remember
we
that?
had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad did, because he had all those kinds of, self-help type things.
I mean, if you could write one of those and it become a bestseller for Christians, it was like $99.99 with the tapes and the book.
Amazing. Yeah. People would always be like, "You should be like the Stuff Christians Like guy." Or you should be like there's all these like Christian niche comedy
John
type
Christ,
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just don't, I can't do it. People, they're too easily offended, and I want to be myself.
Well, that's what takes us back to the question of, is there a market for the in-betweeners, right?
Yeah, I think there is. I've thought about the unchurched market before. People, former Christians, people. I mean, it blows me away how many times I will say to an audience, "I'm sorry." It's
my bad.
How many times I'll say something like, "Hey, anybody grow up going to church in here?" and have a small amount of people, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy to me. Like, I figured everybody kind of grew up going to church.
It's weird because I don't know anybody that's taken their kids to church now.
Yeah. It's not happening.
That's just a California thing. When I was in Nashville, there's a church on every corner.
Yeah.
And there's a movement of kids that are finding church and God without their parents because they didn't have anything like that to.
Yes.
I don't know. We went to Sunday morning, Sunday night, youth group, Bible study on Wednesdays, and then I had chapel 5 days a week. So I was getting 9 doses of sitting in a pew a week.
Yeah, dude.
By the time I had the choice, I was out of there.
You're like, I'm done.
Yeah. Plus, cliffhanger story. From a very young age, I was told that I was special and that I was meant for something and that I was a leader and that I was meant to be this thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm going to just go out in the world. I'm going to figure out what the world's all about. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to be able to guide the youth better.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to know of the worldly ways and I'll be able to teach you not to do it.
Nope.
You never go back.
Never go back. Yeah, dude. That is very much the truth. Yeah, that you're special. I have plans for you.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Wait.
You heard this too?
Oh, yeah.
Not so special anymore then, am I?
Yeah, dude. I mean, but that's something that I've always had a problem with because it was very much just like, God's got a plan for you, buddy.
Right.
And you've got so many talents.
Right.
That he's given you and
you're going to change the world.
Yeah. And you're a leader. I was told that as well, and like those type of things. And I was a leader, at that time, and
for as much as you could lead at 17.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it was a while. And then I remember that was one of my big complaints was like, I remember a lot of my life waiting on God and just being like, I'm ready, Lord. I'm ready. Use me.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Use me.
Mm-hmm. And really trying to be as available as I could be. And kind of just being like, I'm just going to be a fucking leaf in the wind right now. Like, I just guess I just got to make some moves, because I wasn't getting a lot of like answers back. I wasn't like, it wasn't like, do this.
It does seem like the message is like, just be there.
Yeah.
And God will just put you in the right spot. And to be fair, I have been picked up by the back of my neck and dropped in specific situations 6 notable times in my life where it was like, I was way off. And then it was just like reset. Yeah. So I'm very, very lucky, and I do feel some protection from a spiritual level, or maybe I'm just a lucky guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm grateful for the church because of my wife and kids. You know, that wouldn't have happened. You know, and I think my base is, I'm proud of my base of who I am. Like
proud of my base too. It's brown. It's got sunburst.
Oh, nice, dude.
Tobacco burst, actually.
Dude, I love a tobacco burst.
Oh, yeah.
And a tobacco dip sometimes too.
Let's go get one.
We'll get a dip on. Let's go. But yeah, sorry, we were wrapping up.
We were, because we're at an hour and a half. What happens to me, and you maybe can relate to this as a producer.
Yeah.
When I think of trying to edit an hour and a half long podcast,
it's horrible.
I want to unalive myself.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll just cut off the first 30 minutes.
No.
Well, actually, with AI, it's better. But I do listen back to the whole episode because I'm conscious of not putting weird stuff out.
Oh, yeah. I did say the N-word under my breath a couple of times. And
in the bathroom.
Yeah, but I was mic'd up.
Right.
I don't know how I did it.
But just yelled it down the hallway, and the mic picked it up.
Yeah, I know it. Make sure he doesn't cut out my brilliant Asian accent.
Are you trying to Ben Avery me right now?
Yeah. Oh. Don't cut out any of my Asian accent stuff.
Just the Asian hate stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
Leave all that in.
No, we got to stop Asian hate.
We don't have to.
No, we do.
We have to?
We got to stop it.
Wait, is that the thing that we told we were special for?
Maybe that was the plan.
Well,
everywhere I go, I see there's signs up says "Stop Asian Hate." I mean, maybe
they're just talking to us.
Shoot, hey guys, stop hating on Asians.
Okay, if we were a duo, is it Isaac and Kevin or Kevin and Isaac?
I don't know.
Stop Asian hate.
Stop Asian hate.
Kevin and Isaac stop Asian hate. Isaac and Kevin.
We could call it the Ick.
If we were a morning show,
IK Ick.
I've gotten that one a lot.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you know the biblical definition of Isaac is gift of laughter?
Oh, yeah.
My mom told me that so many times in my head as a 5-year-old. I was like, I'm going to be a comedian one day.
Yeah, you got the gift of laughter.
I don't. I'm not that funny.
Yeah. Did you know that Kevin means a guy is a little too overweight but has a long torso so it blends well?
And...
also means friend, I think.
Does it really?
I don't know. I have no idea. The only thing I remember about my name is that the Hawaiian version is Kawana.
You should go with that.
Yeah.
You know, 19 out of the top 20 comedians in the world have changed their name to have a stage name.
I didn't know that.
That's not my real name.
Wow.
Middle name's Abraham. Shortened it to Abrams.
I was thinking about changing my name from Kevin James Tienken to just Kevin James.
I was hoping you were going to go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you should do it.
I don't know. I think it's fresh.
Kevin James 2, Kevin James the second.
Kevin James also.
I was going to say that next.
Yeah.
Also Kevin James.
Yeah, all the Gallagher.
And you just only do. I've always wondered why there aren't comedian cover bands.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
If you just did an evening with Kevin James.
Yeah.
You didn't say you were Kevin James. You said it was an evening with Kevin James. Your name happens to also be Kevin James, and you're doing Kevin James jokes.
The only problem is the only accent that I'd be good enough at doing that's a stand-up would either be ironically Jerry Seinfeld or the great Norm Macdonald, which I would never just do that. You know what I mean?
That's sacrilegious.
But I will do an impression of him sometimes, very, very rarely if it makes sense. Because I wrote a joke once that was a Norm Macdonald joke. Not literally, but it just felt like it. It was, I don't like Craig's list, but you know who does? Craig, because it's his list. But you spread it way out.
Oh, you just got
a
lot of pauses.
And not too big fan of the internet, but I like my stuff in person, you know. But,
there's a guy on TikTok that he writes new James, the guy with the long hair, died of heroin.
Oh, Hedberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch. I get him confused with the singer of Metallica.
James Hetfield.
He writes them and performs them as if they were.
Oh, that's
new.
great.
I mean, as if they were old.
That's great.
Kevin, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Please come back.
I will.
Many times.
I'll do my best. I'll
like once a week.
It'll be nice if we could do a slow motion or like a fast motion capture of me getting a 6-pack.
Fast motion capture of you getting a 6-pack from the store.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. No. You'll see next time you see me. I'll have a 6-pack, dude.
I'll probably go see you next week.
Of course.
I'm gonna see you on August 2nd.
What's August 2nd?
House party in the lab.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. I'll probably be there. I think I'll be there.
You better be there.
I'm
gonna need somebody to take my spot when someone goes up before me and makes me scared to go up.
Dude, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I will do it. I'm in for it.
All right. This has been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, dude. I had fun too.
This show's a piece of shit.